So then I get back, whatever. I settle into San Diego. I get a place in PB and surfing every day. And Southern California surfing is the shit. You know what I mean? My whole life, you grow up reading Surfer Magazine, all these spots from Swamis to Blacks to, you know, Imperial Beach to Lowers to all the way up to Zuma Beach. You know what I mean? All these spots. And so I'm surfing. I'm starting to go through money. Biggest mistake I made was probably not bringing my genetics and my grow stuff with me because I'm going through money. Now it's like March of 03. I'm like, fuck, bro, I need to get some money. My boy's, whatever, he's moving weight sometimes. So I get like 25 pounds, or 15's his, 10's mine, and I drive across country. But I had this weird feeling before I leave. I'm like, fuck, you know, should I? I'm just weird gut feeling, which I should have went with, and I didn't. It's taken 3 days to get the right rental car. And I'm like, you know what, let me just grab this one. I grab a black Nissan Maxima with Minnesota plates. And I mean, Nevada back then was gnarly. Nevada was gnarly. They would, you know, you don't get caught with nothing. So I'm making it through. I'm seeing cars pulled over in Nevada. I'm seeing cars pulled over in Colorado. I'm on 70. I get to DIA. And I'm like, man, I should switch rental cars. Get like halfway through Kansas. I look, I see a black unmarked state patrol going westbound. He's going like 100 and some miles an hour, moving. I'm like, damn, that's scary. And I'm doing 71 into 70, cruise control. I'm not smoking. Everything's vacuum sealed. Oof. Look at my rearview mirror 20 minutes later, and this dude's coming up on me so fast, and I can see him. You know what I mean? I'm looking in the rearview mirror. He's just coming. He gets it. He just like almost, you know, just locks it up and sits on my corner for 15, 20 minutes. I go to make a lane change, and he pulls me. Oh, shit, bro. You know, he's got the dog with him, too. Dog's going haywire. Haywire. Comes in, he's asking me all these questions, like, where you going, what are you doing, all this. And I'm like, just on my way out east, you know, and I have a one-way rental. Things look sus. This guy's, you know, and he's like, he keeps me for a while, and then he's like, can I look in the trunk? And I'm like, yeah, go ahead, look in the trunk. I had a skateboard back there. And he's like, I need it. He walked the dog around the outside, too. They don't need permission to that, you know. He walked it. He goes, my dog's hitting on your car. I go, I don't know what to tell you, bro. He's probably hungry. And the guy was a dick. I mean, he was just on me. And he's like, I need to search your inside your car. And I'm like, I got to go, bro, you know? And then finally, he just kept me there so long that I'm like, whatever. You know, he's like, I was like, all right, go ahead, bro. And he went through, sees the weed, you know, pulls a gun, has me out in the middle of the highway, looking spread eagle. I'm like, fuck, bro. I'm like, this is crazy, you know? And really, you know, I mean, I can do jail. It's not a big time. I mean, now it's the time because I can make money. I can't make time. But you know, probably the hardest call in the world is calling my dad. You know what I mean? I'm just sitting in jail in the middle of Kansas. But, you know, they try to get you like they're driving me in to the one station, they're weighing it, and then and he's trying to talk to me like, hey, bro, 3 and leave. And I'm not really paying attention because I'm kind of shook. And then he's still saying it. Then we get to the place and they bring in a federal officer and they're like, all right, man, you want to go on your way? Just give us 3 names and you can leave. And I was like, I'll tell you what, bro. Give me my weed, an hour and a half head start, and I'll give you some names. John Doe, Jane Doe, whatever. They're not going to give me my weed, I know. And he's like, we can't do that. And I was like, well, hurry up and book me so I can get out of this shithole. And now I'm mad. I don't even care now. Now I'm so angry. And then I'm sitting in there, so, and they have me in a one-way door before they put me in general population. And there's like a guy with a mirror, and he's like trying to mess with me already. I'm like, oh, fuck, bro. I got my orange jumper on and my flip-flop.
What do you mean fucking with you?
He's sitting in his cell, and he's using a mirror to look around the corner, and he's trying to talk to me as this door's open, and I'm sitting in this cell. I'm not put in yet. They're waiting until after dinner to put me in. And so I'm just like, oh, bro, this guy's already fucking with me, and I don't know what's going to happen when I get in there. And I mean, I'm 6'6", 200 pounds. I trained martial arts at this time, already 4 years. So I'm like, you know what? I'm ready. I put my thing around, tie it around my waist. I'm like, whatever's going to happen in here, let's go. So whatever they put me in, and I got to duck 3 times just to get in the thing. Cause I'm like, and then I get in there, and it's like they're all there either for meth or domestic abuse. So whatever, I'm in there for like 6, 7 days, you know, and I know none of my friends are going to answer the phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everyone's like, tripping.
Oh, yeah.
In early 2000s, and you got hit in Kansas?
In Kansas.
Kansas, of all places.
And Kansas is still gnarly.
Yeah, it's still not legal.
If you look down the line, it's like 70, 80, 40, 50. It's North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska,
like the last
Kansas,
state.
Oklahoma, and Texas. And that whole thing is still pretty gnarly, except Oklahoma.
That's the last state you want to get hit in.
Yeah, and they still don't like it. Anyway, I get booked in there, and there's a kid in there, and his dad's a city manager. And he's like, hey, bro, did you get popped for, were you driving through with weed? Did so-and-so trooper get you? And he like knew my whole case, you know? I'm like, this shit just happened. How's this kid know all this already? He's like, he gets everybody. That dog doesn't hit shit. He's all telling me all this and whatever. I end up talking to him every day for a couple of days. And he's like, you give me a pack of smokes and I'll get you, I can tell you the lawyer's name. And he's a badass. He got the biggest meth manufacturer off of Kansas. And I was like, shit, yeah, bro. How many smokes you want? I'll buy them all. And he gave me his name. I finally made the call. My dad, hard call, bro. I just sat for an extra couple of days. My parents had gotten back from Mexico, and I knew they were going to be calling me, you know? I hadn't talked to them in weeks. So I know, they're probably worried and shit, and I don't want to stress them and make the call. My dad's like fucking irate. Anyway, comes, bails me out. And I tell him, I'm like, Dad, I get this lawyer. He's going to get me off. And he's like, no way. You got caught. You're not, there's no way. Anyway, I make the call the next day. Lawyer's like, bring me $5,000. I'll get you off everything. I'm like, I'm on my way. 10-hour drive from Colorado to where I got, one way, and then 10 hours back the next day to take him the money, get there. He tells me, what he's going to do. I come back for a hearing, and we walk in, and this is like a month later. It's myself, my dad, the lawyer, and then a magistrate in that state patrol. It's not a courtroom yet. It's just a room like this. And as we're walking in, the lawyer's like, what is this? How's my client going to get you guys buddies sitting here talking? I want the case dismissed. And my dad's like, oh my God, this guy's crazy. He's going. And he's an old man at this time. For him to even be acceptable at this was, pretty, he's since passed away. And anyway, whatever, that come back a month later. And because I'm living in San Diego, I get back on plane, go back, come back. I go to court. This is like July now, and I get on the thing, and the cop tells his story. I get up and tell my story, and my lawyer's like, could you leave? And he's like, no. He goes, well, look, the police is standing in front of the mirror, the rearview mirror. He wouldn't let you leave. And like all the audio and all the video disappeared. He goes, how come every time we come to court, that video and audio disappears? Anyway, we do all that, and then I go back to San Diego. He calls me up next day. He goes, they got till December to fully press you, but I guarantee it disappears. And sure enough, it did.
Wow.
Yeah, for that year, and not much. I was like, but the weird thing is I know 4 other guys that got popped within 30 minutes of that spot, and none of them went through that.
What do you mean none of them?
None of them had to go to court.
Why?
The 3 and leave.
Oh, the 3 and leave.
Yeah, they walked, I wasn't going to, they were like, we want the man. I was like, you got him, dog. I mean, I'm not the man, but, I'm not going to rat my guys out that are my friends.
Yeah.
What's that? It's not going to, whatever. Anyway, I got it. When I got out, I had like 184 calls on my flipped up Motorola. They didn't mess with none of my stuff. It was still sitting in the rental car. I was able to go get all my stuff and take it, because I didn't take a deal or nothing. So,
dude, that attorney's savage.